Three Bays are the best harbor on the south side of Cape Cod. It was a natural refuge for pirates and everything else. And it became the principal seaport on the south side. One time there were dozens of schooners out here in the bay, and they were built here. This was a shipbuilding center. Cotuit oysters have always been famous. The whole shore was lined with oyster houses all the way from Cotuit all the way around to Osterville, along North Bay, and up the Marstons Mills River. There's no question that this is a piece of landscape, historic landscape that we want to keep. It's probably as important as any of the buildings around.
The town dock in Cotuit, it's like a community center. Guys like myself, the fishermen who work down there, people are back and forth, they know our schedules, and they're down there to watch a load, unload, shoot the breeze. They're really catching fish there sometimes. There can be 15 to 20 people. They're catching fish.
1, 2, 3, go.
I don't think more than 3 or 4 days goes by from mid-May until mid-October where I'm not on the water, on the Three Bays. It's an integral part of my life and of my family's life.
In the summertime, I didn't see my school buddies because life revolved around those bays.
The bays provided friendships that have lasted to this very day.
3 Barnstable Bays: North Bay, Cotuit Bay, West Bay. One sensitive ecosystem, one recreational and economic community resource, one advocacy group to preserve, maintain, and protect it all. Three Bays Preservation.
Someone called me last week and said, I think there's a failed sewage septic system in Cotuit Bay. But I think it's also, there's one in West Bay because the whole place smells like a wastewater treatment plant. And I said, well, I got news for you. I wish it was something that easy.
There's a general feeling of pollution in the Three Bays area. You hear it from shell fishermen, from boat owners, homeowners, and it's real. I feel it myself. I'm out there a lot, and it's real.
This year, some cautious people, I admit they're cautious, but they're knowledgeable, will not swim in North Bay.
I hear those stories all the time. I talked to a fellow who lives on Princess Cove, and he used to say, I used to get down and get oysters anytime I wanted them in front of my house. And then he'll say in the next sentence, I haven't seen an oyster in 10 years.
It is increasingly degraded. Used to be that it was degraded in its upper portion, Prince Cove, Warren Cove, but now we're seeing really pretty poor water quality moving into North Bay. But again, remember, Three Bays used to have eelgrass. It's all gone, so it's already impaired system-wide. It's just the level of impairment now is increasing and expanding.
The most alarming thing that we see is algae blooms in the northern bays, and although we haven't had it to a great extent, some of the fish kills, we've had some minor fish kills and crab kills. And that is the real, when the lights go on and you know you've got a bad problem.
The loss of eelgrass, first of all, throughout the Three Bays area, is a bellwether. It tells you that there is danger ahead. More than a bellwether, the alarm has gone off. Our bays are in trouble.
Three Bays specifically is a classic estuary with a river flowing into the headwaters, the Marstons Mills River, and with salt water flowing in from Nantucket Sound through the 2 inlets, one into Cotuit Bay and one into West Bay. And the fresh and saltwater mix within this system, and it creates sort of a unique environment on Earth. People think of marine environment, people think of fresh water, but these estuarine systems are mixing systems. They're some of the most productive ecosystems in terms of fish and shellfish and bird life and such on the planet. They are critical places for where people live. I mean, they are the part of the marine system that people are most exposed to.
By 1996, persistent erosion had cut an opening through Dead Neck Barrier Beach, threatening the Three Bays and community shorelines behind it. Three Bays Preservation was formed and went to work. The breach was plugged, both regular entrance channels dredged, and the barrier beach replenished and rebuilt.
A little bit further along here, for about 200 feet, is where it was overwashing at high tide. Right about where this Boston whaler is on our left was about the end of the major dredging project that put approximately 280,000 yards on this beach.
We tried a very ambitious program with the dredge work. Unlike what has been done in the past, which is to pump sand from offshore, we combined the program with a channel maintenance dredging in West Bay and Cotuit Bay and used that sand to replenish Dead Neck. The interesting thing about that was that we had to pump the sand 2 miles to Dead Neck when we were on the Cotuit side.
By doing the dredging and taking the sand and putting it back onto the island after losing it after a hard winter, we're helping to add more habitat, nesting habitat for the birds. And the perfect spot is up there on that plateau up there where it's all sandy, and you can see where the dredge has helped tremendously.
We've done 2 hydrodynamic models, which is a study of the current flow, to show that it's essential to maintain Dead Neck as it is because it keeps the flows of the bays at optimum. And that's really the goal of the dredge project, is to optimize the flows so you get the water exchange and you get good and better water quality.
With Dead Neck repaired and channel dredging accomplished, Three Bays Preservation saw the need for a larger undertaking. The overall health of the embayments and contributing watershed was in serious decline. There was much more to do over a longer timeline.
It's not just the coastal embayments of North Bay, West Bay, and Cotuit Bay. Our work involves the whole watershed, which goes all the way into Sandwich. We have Little Pond, Mystic Lake, Middle Pond, and Hamlin Pond, and the watershed continues down the Marstons Mills River to Prince's Cove and Warren's Cove. There is a tremendous amount of groundwater through this area, as evidenced by the extensive cranberry operations on the northern part of the Marstons Mills River.
The major threat worldwide is nutrient overloading. As all of the people move towards the coast, they carry with them their activities, and one of their activities is to create nitrogen loads, either through wastewater or fertilizers or through increasing runoff.
One of the things we look for, particularly in the upper embayments of Prince Cove and Warren's Cove, is these large macroalgae blooms. It's that bright green sea lettuce, as they call it, out there that blooms in the spring as a result of the nutrients that are present. It blooms when the temperature's right, and you'll just see these enormous mats of this sea lettuce out there. Once it blooms and breaks free at the bottom, it gets up onto the marsh grass and it starts to rot, and you get the smell, sulfitic smell, and then bugs will get in there, and it's just a bad situation. That's directly a result of these excess nutrients in the system.
The headwaters of a system like Three Bays, like Prince's Cove, Warren Cove, become a sentinel system for all of the Three Bays system. If we can protect North Bay and Prince's Cove and Warren's Cove and Three Bays, then if we restore those, they're nutrient overloaded now, if we can restore those systems, we will restore all of the Three Bays system.
It became evident that we needed hard science, and that's where we really have taken the mission over the last several years. We've done everything from the basic hydrodynamic models, which is checking the current flows in the bays to see where the water is flowing, how long it stays in the bays, which is called residence time. We've looked at the nutrient levels in the embayments, how much of the nutrients are here presently, where those nutrients come from, and we've also looked at things like fecal coliform counts. That's a real hot button issue these days with swimming and shellfishing. We've done various studies on those, including DNA analysis of the fecal coliforms to determine what sources there are. And we've kept up our dredging program. In the fall of 2005, we redredged the West Bay entrance channel and the entrance to Cotuit River. You know, dredging is never a one-time fix. We need to keep those channels flowing smoothly to get good water quality exchange with Nantucket Sound. And we've been involved in shellfish propagation efforts to increase the number of cohogs in the area.
Three Bays purchased the FLEPC for the town to operate, and it is an independent structure, a segment of the dock system here at Prince Cove Marina. It blends in perfectly with the floating dock system, looking virtually like an extension of the floating dock. Under these hatches is where all the activity happens. The silos hang under the surface of the water, and they're relatively easily retrieved for us to regularly maintain them.
Something about the Three Bays organization, they value quantitative science in ways, some groups just say, well, we have to do something. Anything will be better than what we're doing now. But of course, solutions cost money. Three Bays decided that they would try to come up with a concrete quantitative solution. They started gathering and funding on their own research to determine what would be the best way to fix it. Because of those efforts, they were ranked in the first round of the Massachusetts Estuaries Project. This first round assessment modeling is for solutions. It is the roadmap or the plan for the management of this system. It will lead to direct engineering solutions and to management solutions to restore the eelgrass to Three Bays, to at least part of it, and to restore the fisheries and to protect other areas that are still in good shape. If Three Bays keeps up its work, its advocacy work, it's very likely that Three Bays that my kids grow up in will be more along the lines of what we haven't seen for 50 or 60 years in this region.
Specific organizations can hone in on a specific issue and bring an energy and an advocacy to it that really helps us get our job done.
There's been an expectation among the public that if we have water quality problems or we have dredging problems or issues that need to be addressed, that somehow the state or federal government or town is going to take care of these items. The reality is that's not going to happen.
I think their advocacy has been very important in sort of bringing that issue to up on the radar screen, getting people to focus on it, catching our attention as public officials, saying we really have to start thinking about this and start doing something about it.
A group like Three Bays is essential to get anything done. I've been my whole life now working in environmental science and management. Nothing gets done unless someone will champion a system. All of the good intent, the technology is there, the scientists are there, the regulatory frameworks are there, the state is there, the communities are there, but unless a group takes on a challenge of championing a restoration or protection of a system, nothing gets done at all, because somebody has to make it their work to go to every meeting, to write the grants, to gather the team, to say to the scientists and the engineers and the regulatory people, hey, we have a problem over here, will you help over here?
We're the ones who are delivering that information to the town and to the state. They find us credible. We've gotten every permit that we've ever asked for to do any work in the Three Bays, and as a result, we've got results.
If we don't get involved and solve some of these problems, the bays are just going to be parking lots for moored boats, and you will go offshore and to do your fishing and recreating. You won't be able to swim in the bays, and it'll change the real quality of life.
People have to remember that the Three Bays region is not only a recreational resource, but also an economic resource. And if conditions continue to worsen, the local economy is going to suffer.
It is part of the fabric of this entire area. And so the preservation is more about the preservation of the fabric of our community as well as the natural beauty.
Please support Three Bays preservation. We need your help.